Okay, so that was what I just read, 166, 167. So if you haven't watched it, go to my last video. But right now, what we're doing is we're going to 168. So right after it tells you, don't hang out with losers and don't listen to losers because they're going to bring you on the wrong path. And you can kind of identify what a loser is, I think. If you can't, do the opposite, like follow just what this is saying, and then don't follow the losers that are saying the opposite stuff. People that want to bring you to corruption. People that want to make you, say stupid things, do stupid things, go out partying all night, drink the alcohol, not work out, not exercise. People want to take you off your game. You know what your game is. I told you guys, we have the fitra. I believe that you have the fitra. You have a good and evil inside you. You have a conscience. If you're doing something kind of odd, you ever like do something kind of shady, like if you you had a girlfriend or something like that, and you like make out with another girl. You're like a teenager and you feel kind of like, ugh, I shouldn't have done that. Like that's your conscience telling you, or your fitra telling you, like, bro, don't do that stuff. Anyways, 168. Oh, humanity, aid from what's lawful and good on the earth, and do not follow in Satan's footsteps. He is truly your sworn enemy. 169. He incites you to commit evil and indecency, and to claim against God what you do not know. When it is said to them, follow God, follow what God has revealed, they reply, no. We only follow what our forefathers are practicing. It's like an appeal to authority fallacy. Would they still do so, even if their forefathers had absolutely no understanding or guidance? Well, obviously they would. Now, what is guidance and what is understanding? How could they have understanding? How could you even understand objective morality? Does a society know objective morality? Now, think about it in our society. Think about in the North American culture. How much our society has changed in 30 years. Did you know in Canada, we have tampons in the men's bathroom? Tampons in the men's bathroom. We have tampons in the men's bathroom. Can you believe that? Do you know why we have tampons in the men's bathroom? Probably because society is faking our morality. We don't even understand what's going on. So sometimes in this country now, somehow they've convinced some people, that a man and a woman is a man. So why not put a tampon in the men's bathroom that nobody uses and it's fine? Okay, no problem. Because morality has to be objective or else it's not morality. We've had societies, and those societies have committed mass atrocities. Why? Because they've been programmed. But if they follow only what their forefathers are doing, or if they're following people that are on the straight path, that are not on the straight path, they go down the wrong way. But if you're following an objective morality, no matter what that morality is, like I believe in like this kind of morality, it makes sense to me so far. It's like, be careful what you say. Be careful about what you do. Know that God is watching you all the time. Meditate and connect with God. Exercise. Live well. Live clean. Take care of your body. What else? Like eat healthy food. Eat what God has given you. Avoid evil things, what you know to be evil. That make sense to me. Now, obviously, it's really difficult though for you to know when you're doing evil, because what if your society is evil? What if your society is corrupt? So if I come to you and I go, hey, this society is totally corrupted. Society is totally corrupted. What do you say? You say, we only follow what we found our forefathers practicing. The value hierarchies that were given to our forefathers, we're only following this. How do you know that forefathers' hierarchy of values is true? Did you know, for example, that some tribes, they have cannibals? So if they have cannibals in that society, isn't it right to say, well, my forefather did this, he was a cannibal? What if the society is evil in its nature and you can't tell that society is evil in its nature? How do you know that you're not committing evil? Well, what God is saying here, the God of the Quran is saying, well, then you're gonna commit evil, your soul's gonna have to pay for it, and the people that you follow, they're gonna snake you. So do what's good and don't follow Satan. Speaking of Satan, it's fascinating because Satan seems to be the conscious embodiment of evil itself. So it's a fascinating thought that Satan whispers into your soul. Now, one thing that I do know is that your body is a vessel, right? Your body is a vessel for consciousness. And you would say, no, it's not. Well, then I say, well, you're conscious. You're conscious, aren't you? Aren't you aware? Look at your hands. Look at your feet. Look at your toes. You have control over it. Clap your hands. You have control over it, right? Okay. Yes, you have control over it. Okay, so if you have control over it, you live inside your body. You are not your body. You are conscious experience of your body right now. You are living in your body. So if you're living in your body, you can have a weak vessel, and that's when evil attacks you. Evil attacks you when you despair, when you are weak. Now the question is, what are the actions that you do that make you weak? Oh, maybe following people that are not good for you, not being able to choose your own path. Maybe not being careful with your tongue, maybe gossiping. Maybe you can enter a negative vibrational field. Don't think it's woo-woo. Maybe it's woo-woo. Who cares? But listen, if you enter, you can enter a negative world. You enter a negative universe. Every time you speak evil, doesn't the world get a little darker? Think about it. Think about your actual environment around you. Every time you see your neighbor and you wave at your neighbor, you go, hey, neighbor. Hey, neighbor. I'm saying that because I see my neighbor. I don't know if he sees me. But you say, hello, neighbor. Hello. What happens? The world gets a little brighter. Now you know your neighbor. But if you look at your neighbor, you give him the, the whole bop. I don't like to do those things. You give him the bop. You give him the bop. Then what happens? Your world gets a little darker. And now you're in the evil world. And now the world has adjusted, and then your soul has adjusted to an evil world. And now you're evil and you don't even know it. You're a little bit more evil. Not you're fully evil. But isn't that the devil whispering to you? Now let me ask you a question. You have a drink of alcohol, right? Not a big deal. What if you have 10 drinks of alcohol? It's closer to evil. So now you become an alcoholic. I'm not saying that you always will. Don't get me, I don't want to use a slippery slope fallacy. However, you could slip. You slip down the slope. That is not so much of a fallacy, is it? No, I don't think so. So you slip down the drinking thing. So you drink, you go, I was discussing this with one of my friends, actually. When you're 20 years old, you go out with the homies, you go drink, you do a little bit of wild stuff. But maybe you connect, you correlate alcohol with fun. Alcohol fun. Like the story of Pavlov's dog. If you don't, write in the comments, I'll explain Pavlov's dog. It's a psychology thing. But I can explain it to you guys in another video if you guys don't know it. Okay, I'll tell you about Pavlov's dog. So Pavlov's dog is very simple. There's a dog. This guy, he had a dog. Now, he would feed the dog. And then, how do I explain this? So he would feed the dog. And then when he would feed the dog would start to salivate. Okay? So he'd ring a bell, feed the dog. And then the dog would start to salivate. Ring the bell, feed the dog. Dog would start to salivate when you see the food, right? Then he would ring the bell, no food. Dog would salivate. So what that tells you is that there is in your mind, you're making a correlation. You're making a correlation between the thing and the pleasure. So the bell sound was the thing that caused the dog to salivate thinking that he's going to get food. So maybe the alcohol, you're drinking alcohol, you're going out with your friends, you think the alcohol is giving you fun. But no, it's actually the time with your friends that's fun. But because you guys are going out and drinking, you think that the alcohol is fun. Now you're having a bad time in life. Life is hard. Maybe you lose your job and you want to have some fun, but your friends are not around. They're gone. Some of your friends got married. Some of your friends, they have themselves a dog. They go, they go on hikes. But you don't like to go on hikes. You want to enjoy the fun that you had when you were 20. So maybe you pick up a bottle and you slip down that slope. Now, when you slip down that slope, what happens to your soul? It gets weaker. And when it gets weaker, evil comes in. So the devil then is your sworn enemy, coming to find you when you're weak. So don't be weak. Be strong. Okay, I'll end it there. Thank you so much.